States, regionals, and nationals are right around the corner. Here are some tips on how to make the most of these experiences. Perfect your gymnastics in the gym, keep a positive attitude at practice, stay in contact with college coaches, post and share your routines on Instagram, say hello to any coaches you may see in the stands, stay calm, cool, and collected so that you can have your best competitions, and most importantly, have fun and enjoy competing. You've got this. We're cheering you on from Full Out Collegiate Recruiting.
4 regionals, 4 play-ins, beginning on Wednesday, 8 semifinals, 4 finals, and that's just to get to the NCAA Championships. Yes, it's going to be a long week of gymnastics, and we are breaking down where our Region 5 alums are competing and what routines we expect to see. That and our bracket breakdown. Let's go.
It's going down, fade to pink, the homies got at me, college salute, bebop, hop back me. No doubt, we put it down, R5 Nation. Tell me who can stop when UCLA making moves, attracting fans like magnets. Give us champions with their sick floorgasms. State moving this flavor with J. Mac and K. Slice, the original podcasters. Shorty get down. Good Lord, regionals all over town. Strictly biz, they don't play around. Cover so much ground, they got rings by the pound. Getting tens is their forte, each and every day, true gymnast way. I can't get it out of my mind. What? Thinking about her floor all the time. Who? East side to the west side. You better push play. It's preview day.
Y'all ready for NCAA Regional Week? Gymnastics overload. Well, we can't wait. Welcome back to the College Salute Podcast, the only podcast with a gymnastics-inspired rap every week. The place you go for all you need to know about how our Region 5 alums are doing during their NCAA careers. You know Kim, and of course I'm Jason, and we are going to go region by region, breaking down the Region 5 alums we expect to see to compete at all 4 regionals around the country. We have 11 alums who have qualified as individuals to regionals, and we will highlight those athletes and routines as well. Region 5 University is headed to Happy Valley, so we will look closely who could be in our regional lineup as we try to make nationals in our R5 fantasy world. And of course, we'll give you our picks for play-ins through who we think will advance to the NCAAs in our bracket breakdown. But first, a free way to support our show is by leaving a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to the College Salute Podcast. Tell us what you love about the show or would like to see improved. The review helps others discover our podcast and join our Region 5 family. Help us continue to grow our podcast, which is the only regionally based gymnastics podcast in the country. We continue to show our love for our R5 alums throughout their college careers, so please show us some love with a review and a 5-star rating. And we, Kim, have 4 more followers have joined our College Salute family in the last week, so thank you and welcome. Hope you enjoyed our conference championship preview with Alina and Kim and I. That was crazy. Anyway, glad you have become part of our College Salute family and choose our podcast for your college gymnastics needs. So welcome aboard. Appreciate that. All right, let's start with Penn State. Happy Valley, that of course, as I mentioned, the Region 5 University will be headed to Penn State. And just so you are clarified, for those we base our lineup on, technically the regional final, and then we use our individualists as well. But if we do need to go back to semis for a score, we will do that. But a regional final and the individual scores are how we base our lineup for that. So starting with the play-in, which begins Wednesday this week, which when you hear the podcast, it'll probably be tomorrow or today. Maryland versus West Virginia. Very interesting one, very competitive one. And we'll let you know who we each think is going to move on in a minute. But from Maryland, we have 2 alums going to compete. Natalie Martin does vault bars, vault beam and floor. Gorgeous Yurchenko 1.5. Beautiful full in on floor. Love watching Natalie. Awesome gymnast to watch. I know Kim likes taking pictures of Natalie.
I do, especially because she gets her eyes off the floor now.
Yes. No pictures of Natalie from this weekend, though. However,
No.
Kim will not be at Penn State, although she wanted to.
Yeah.
She's going to be in Ann Arbor, Michigan. But and then Layla Hammer. Layla had been out of the beam lineup for a while. I'm not sure if she was hurt or what the situation was, but she did compete at Big Tens. and so we anticipate her probably being in the lineup also here at the play-in. So we'll look for those two. She did have a fall at Big Ten, so hopefully she's looking to rebound that and stay on the beam this time. And then West Virginia. We only have one alum competing for West Virginia. That's Emerson Smith, vault and floor. We've talked about her floor, I think it was last week, or how fast she runs, maybe a couple weeks ago, how fast she runs under a tumbling, round off full in. I know that's always impressive. I know we both have talked about that many times. And she has a very nice Yurchenko full as well. So very productive for West Virginia. Look forward to seeing that. It's going to be an interesting competition, as I said, because they're very competitive in terms of their lineup. But we've split on this one.
We did.
I am going West Virginia.
And I'm going Maryland.
So we're going to see who's right for this one. But
it's going to be Maryland.
Yeah, it's going to be Maryland, of course.
Surely based off the flag.
Kim was going to pick Maryland. There was no way around that.
Yeah.
All right, so then we move into regional semifinal 1, and this one will feature Michigan State, Kentucky, Ohio State, and then and then Penn State. Sorry, the winner of the play-in is at 9.
This semifinal is like Big Ten plus.
Basically, it is. Kentucky, we could just call her Big Ten. It's fine.
We could.
Michigan State coming off of their second place finish at Big Tens. Obviously, Gabby Stephen coming off her 10 on beam. I mean, obviously an all-around threat, good on all 4 events, can put up 9 pluses on every event. That's going to be a very critical score potential there on all 4 events. Sage Kellerman, I mean, come on. The queen of 995.
Yeah. And the queen of bars lately.
And exactly, but she'll get a 995 anytime she looks at an event.
Pretty much.
Her vault is sensational, handspring front pike half. Bars, obviously, as Kim just mentioned, very, very good. 995 potential or more. 99. She has put up 9975s in the past. So definitely a big one there. Nikki Smith, another one that can bring it on all 4 events. We get stuck double tucks off beam often.
Yeah,
we get the great tumbling and floor routines from her. Good Yurchenko 1.5 on vault. Great bar worker. Just an all-around threat, as we've mentioned here too. So look for that. Skyla Schulte. The crowd's eyes will turn to her on floor for sure. People will watch her tumbling and her dance and just the way she brings in the crowd. But her lead off on beam is a must watch. That's going to be critical because I'm not really sure when Michigan State goes to beam. I don't know the order of events, but that's going to be critical. She leads off beam now, and she's very good at beam. So that could be a 9-9 score to lead Michigan State off on beam. And then, of course, we have Delaney Harkness, Kayla Tucker, Katie Duplessis, and then Ellie Buffet. All of them compete 1 to 2 events. Kayla can do all around. She's been doing, I believe, only, if I'm not mistaken, vault and floor this year.
Or they compete, 3 events, some of them.
Some do 3 as well. But all very good athletes, very, solid scores, and can all be in the 9-9s on the events that they compete. So another 4 athletes that are going to be a huge scoring potential to help Michigan State move on to that regional final, and ultimately, hopefully, the national championship. At Kentucky, we only have one, Annie Reigert, and she does bars. She went 9.75 on bars at SECs. She has potential to be in the mid 9.8s on bars. I think she has some 9.9s in her career, but she's usually a 9.85, 9.875 type bar routine. And so I didn't catch her bar routine. I did not watch most of the first session, and so I didn't get to see that, but 9.75. I'm sure she's going to look for a little bit more here at regionals, but unfortunately, that's our only Kentucky alum this year. I
feel like she's been at Kentucky for ever.
Yeah, and she took a break this year. I thought she would had retired or that, but then she came back and she was in, so she must have been injured.
Maybe.
But a very famous Region 5 athlete currently is headed to Kentucky next year, which we're happy with. Excited for Gabby Van Fran. So get to see her next week at regionals, which will be fun. And then of course Ohio State, Tori Vetter, team leader, competing on all 4 events, 9-9 potential, all 4 events. Watch her Tkachev, and of course her floor. Her floor is gorgeous. Wonderful tumbling, good dance. Sydney Washington will play a critical role for the Buckeyes because she leads off 3 events. And that's a very critical position for her. She does well. She can score 9.9s on vault and floor, and she's a high 9.8 on bars. But it'll be critical for her because she'll set the pace for Ohio State on 3 events, but she's been doing a great job this whole year on that, so don't expect the same. And then Caitlin Grimes, energy, huge vault, along with the killer floor routine, 2 scores that Buckeyes will be looking for, especially to be near that 9.9. But I just love the energy of Caitlin Grimes, and she will bring the energy out in her team as well. The star, for me at least this year, is Grace Walker. She sits in the middle of their bar and beam lineup and has been consistently putting up solid numbers. Look forward to her. Love her bar routine, her beam routine. She's so confident, so aggressive on beam. It's great to watch, and definitely, like I said, 2 scores that they're looking to be pretty consistent for the Buckeyes to make it into that final. Then we have 3 athletes who will add the depth and score potential to the Buckeyes. That would be JoJo Vargas. She does balance beam, and if I'm not mistaken, she's anchoring beam now.
I think so.
And so she's very strong. I love her opening. She's very, it's just serious, and then just quick turn to the mount. Very dynamic, and I just love watching JoJo on beam. I talked about, I think last week, how it seems like she's in slow motion. She just makes sure everything is shown while she's competing, and then she goes nuts when she ends her landing. So Carly Wetzel, vault, expect that nice handspring front pike from her, and then she does do bars as well. Hopefully she can put up 2 big scores for them. And then Kate Parks has been competing bars. She's, I think, goes second on their bar lineup. Very good on bars. Hopefully I'll have a good score there too, and add that depth on those scores. So JoJo, Carly, and Kate will definitely do that for Ohio State. So Penn State is the host, of course, and they'll have the crowd support, obviously, in Rec Hall, if they're doing it in Rec Hall. But Cassie Barbonente, one of my athletes, of course, has the potential of a big score here. She anchors for the Nittany Lions. She will need to really swing the Jaeger-Bale combo. She's been in a little tight a couple times this year. As a coach, I just know this. It is what it is. Nail that double layout. But she has the capability of doing a big routine. And, I know she's excited to be able to compete and do that here for the Nittany Lions in her could be last competition of her career. And then Ellie Monahan competed vault, tuck cause, and floor for the Nittany Lions at Big Tens. She has broken into the lineup on beam. I know she has one of Kim's favorite series, the front toss Corbett. She's been on beam. If I'm not mistaken, hasn't been in the beam lineup in the last few weeks, but was in the middle of the year. But she does do vault and floor, so look for those two routines for Ellie to add the depth again to Penn State's lineup as well. So looking forward to that. And that tuck cause has looked really good this year. So we'll look forward to that.
And that's a cause, right?
It is a cause.
That's a cause, right?
Yes. Okay. And then we're moving on to semifinal 2 here at Penn State, Kim.
Yeah, so semifinal 2 here at Penn State, Jason. We have LSU, Arkansas, Michigan, and then whoever wins from Maryland and West Virginia. LSU, we have no alums. However, they are the reigning NCAA champions, so I'm sure they are going to put up a huge performance, good show for everyone. That's the goal, for them. Arkansas, though, I feel like Arkansas is going to be a little bitter and ready, a little salty maybe, and ready to really give it to this regional. We have Haley Klein, who does a vault, a bars, and floor. Her Yurchenko 1.5 will be critical for this team. And back to you, John. No, her floor also should put up a very good score. She's been doing very good floor lately, so look for those two, especially those two. Beam's good too, but especially her floor and vault, because that is definitely where she excels. Kaylin Ewald. She's been in the middle of the bars lineup lately. In the last meet of the season, she went 9.85. She is a beautiful bar worker, beautiful form. So that is somebody that will stand out in the uneven bars department, especially with form. And then one of my all-time favorites, Miss Maddie Walagora. She will do uneven bars, beam, and floor for us. She anchors bars. And this routine, let me tell you, if she hits this routine, 9.95, 90% of the time.
Kim and her percentages.
That is almost accurate, too. And, she'll stay, and Chris Brooks will slay, right. And that is what we want to see. Beam and floor, the many faces, of Maddie Wallagora. So that's just all I got to say. Watch Beam and Floor, especially Floor. Those faces. She brings it every time. She will not be disappointing. Michigan, we have JC Vore. JC Vore. I can't believe she's like a senior and going to graduate. My heart. She will do bars and beam, and she'll put up some solid performances on both. Huge Tkachev that she does. Beautiful dismount. She is just full of energy and life. I can't wait to watch her. She's solid with between 985s and 9925s. So she is going to be put up on those two events and, show you some good stuff. Ava Jordan, vault and bars. Definitely huge Yurchenko 1.5. That she does 1.5, right?
No, she does full.
No, full. You're huge Yurchenko full. Sometimes takes a little scoop back, but 9.9 on vault at Big Tens. And then bars, she's been very consistent in the last couple meets sticking the landing. So let's hope she can continue with that at this meet. But beautiful bars, great form. AJ is usually second in the lineup on bars, following Sophie Parenti, and they have a stellar bar lineup. So it's gonna be a fierce fight here in the second semifinal, and then adding whoever, Maryland or West Virginia, into the mix. Let me tell you, it's gonna.
We've talked about those two, so it's gonna be an interesting one. I mean, obviously LSU, Arkansas, you would think would be the two that would move on, but Michigan could put on a big show, and who knows what Maryland, West Virginia.
You just never know. This is so stressful.
It is. It's just only the first one.
I know.
We have two individuals, and one we're not sure if she'll compete or not. Based on, she'll compete, but if she'll be an individual or she'll be on the team, because if Maryland makes it in, then Natalie Martin would already be in regionals, and then I don't know who replaces her. Maybe it's a Region 5 athlete. We don't know. We don't know the alternates, but Natalie Martin is scheduled to vault in semifinal 1, but if Maryland makes it, then semifinal 2. But if Maryland makes it, then she will not obviously be competing as an individual. She'll be representing her team. And then, of course, Alyssa Guns, which is sad because this will be the last Alyssa Guns performance we'll see.
I know.
But Alyssa will compete for Kent State on one last NCAA regional meet. And
at least it's on floor, and we get to see that.
Yes. So we got to see them at regionals as a team last year.
Yeah.
And now, we get to see Alyssa compete in her final piece of gymnastics. So looking forward to that. Moving out of Penn State, we feel, as Kim and I feel, MSU and Kentucky will move out of semifinal 1, we feel, and then in semifinal 2, Kim?
Arkansas and LSU.
Yeah, we're in agreement on this region completely. So,
yeah.
Barring any craziness, I think these will be your 4 teams that move on to the regional final.
Unless you're my students at SVSU, then it's Ohio State and Penn State.
There you go. We'll let you know who we think the 2 teams from this region are moving on at the end of the pod. Let's move on to Utah and the play-in beginning Wednesday as well. We have BYU versus Utah State. And BYU, we have Eliza Miller-Crossman, balance beam and floor. I have seen, these scores of these routines throughout the year. She does a very good job on these two events. Can't get videos half the time, but, it is what it is. Love to watch them because she's good. Like I said, a very solid contributor on these 2 events and always puts up a high 9.8 or near 9.9 on every time she competes. So looking forward to watching this time because we'll actually get to see it. And so looking forward to that. But that's our only alum at BYU. And then at Utah State, we have Sydney Jellin. Sydney is doing bars and beam. She was a beam specialist last year for the Aggies. She now competes bars this year, which is great because I love her double layout. Her double layout is second to none. It's very beautiful. It's very pretty, very open and nice form on it every single time. But she can put up good scores, 9.85s on these 2 events. She can get close to a 9.9 when she does balance beam solidly. And so looking forward to that. And then Angel Stewart, she's good on floor. She's had some issues this year, very inconsistent with some of her landings. I know the one meet we watched, she bounced out of bounds and had an issue with her first pass too. Very powerful. It's just controlling the landing. But she's put up 9.85s this year, and then she's also put up 9.4s. So, it's just depending on how her landings go. But this could be a huge score for the Aggies if she's able to, solidify in solid landings on her tumbling. So Sydney and Angel are 2 from Utah State. And in this play-in, I'm going with Utah State.
And I'm going with BYU just to be different.
Because, yes,
and they have nice Leos. So
yeah. And again, this is another one that's relatively competitive. They're both pretty good in that sense. So we'll see. So moving on to regional semifinal 1 here in Utah. And Kim, what do we have going on here?
Well, Jason, we have UCLA, Minnesota, Southern Utah, and Boise State. And from UCLA, we have no alums. However, we have all of our adopted ones, but we'll get to them. We don't need to talk about them. We know my feelings. So watch for them, all of them.
Because she'll talk about them on our review of the regional podcast.
Yeah, so when we get there,
sit
back, put all the work away, sit back, and relax because it's going to be a long one. Anyways, Minnesota, we do have Sarah Moreau, and she does vault, and she does beam beautifully. She is a threat on both these events. She has unparalleled, her beam is gorgeous. She can do every skill in the book and connected if she really truly wanted to. Beam at Big Tens was beautiful, and I am so excited to see her compete, especially beam. Vault is great too. She does a full. Can she do in a full and a half? Yes. Does she do it? No. But that's fine. That's fine. We don't need her to do that. But she'll be great. I am very excited to see her. 9-9 capabilities on 9-9 plus capabilities on both events, actually. Vault, even though it's out of a 9-9-5, she's still capable. So she's going to be a nice little threat. Can't wait to see her. Hope they wear a great leotard like they did at Big Tens. Southern Utah, we have no alums there, but Jason's excited to watch them.
I am. I haven't seen them. I like watching new teams that we don't get to watch.
I know, me too.
So it'll be fun to just see their gymnastics because I know, they have great. I mean, they usually have some cool skills. Or I know they do vault over the low bar a lot for.
I think
Kim,
they're the red ones, right?
Yes,
they're
red. Yeah, they're red. Yes,
with the eagle. They have an eagle, aren't they? An eagle?
I believe so. But I know they do usually have some good tumbling. So it may be interesting to watch. I'll be excited to watch it, even though we don't have any alums or know anybody who competes there.
It's fine.
So.
It'll be great.
Yep.
Boise State. The Blue Babes of Boise State. I don't know why. It just seems right. Their football field's blue. Their leotards are blue. Their floor is blue. It's fine. We have Elena McGovern. She will compete floor. She's always very strong on floor, strong skills. She does Rudy layout, step out, and double back. So she one to watch on floor. Great routine, great expression. She went 9.85 in the Mountain West. So another one to keep an eye out for at this regional.
Yeah, and she was actually out for through the mid-season on floor, and I didn't know what happened to her if she got hurt. And I was going to ask her club coaches if they knew, and I forgot. But I noticed she was back in at Mountain West, and so that's awesome to see. So I look forward to that because I do like watching Elena on floor. She used to do a double Arabian when she was in club, which was always fun.
Yeah, she did.
In regional semifinal 2, Utah. It depends on what happens with Utah. I would bet that we won't see her. But we do have Elizabeth Gantner, who does beam for them. She comes in when she has to. She hasn't competed much this year, so I don't expect her to, but she is a very good beam worker. I want her hopefully sometime to compete more because she's a good gymnast on all 4 events, but Utah is a strong team. So I don't expect to see her, but if we do, that'd be awesome, but Utah will be strong nonetheless. Stanford, we have no alums competing, and it's sad, but I'm excited to watch Stanford because I haven't had time to watch ACCs, and I wish I would, and one of these days maybe I will, but if I see Stanford first, I probably won't go back because we'll see it in regionals. Looking forward to that. I just can't
wait to see what funny stick tree seance social media video they do before. They are funny.
Yes, true story. And so looking forward to watching Stanford. Denver, Mila Bruch is our alum. She does vault and floor. She's coming off her Big 12 vault title with a 9.9. That's on our Instagram. Check that vault out. But looking forward to that. And Denver's always exciting. Denver, you never know. That's always one of those teams that you just can't take your, you have to watch because you don't know what's going to happen because Denver could put up a huge number and knock everyone out and head to nationals.
This could be an upset one, I think.
Yes. So, we never know. And they're good. Like I said, they have potential of scoring high on all 4 events. So looking forward to that. And then, of course, the BYU Utah State winner will be in this semifinal. And we'll look forward to obviously seeing which one of those teams moves on to semifinal 2. Individuals competing in this region on beam, we have Madison Gustitis from San Jose State, 9.875 at Mountain West, very strong on beam, not completely competing the skills that she can, do in her routines due to some shin issues, and competing the events she should be this year, although she did get into the floor lineup. Looking forward to watching this routine. Hopefully she can nail it, and who knows. And then Sydney Jellin is on beam as an individual, but again, Utah State makes it into semifinal 2. Someone will replace her because she'll obviously be competing with her team. So we'll see about that. But if Utah State weren't to advance, Sydney Jellin would be competing balance beam. And like I said, Sydney is awesome on beam. Our top 2 for this competition. For semifinal 1, we agree. UCLA, Minnesota. Both of us are in agreement. And in semifinal 2, we both agree as well. Utah, Stanford. Agree. Yes, Utah, Stanford. So these first two regionals, we are in agreement. We'll get to where we don't agree.
But if there's going to be an upset, it's going to be Denver.
Yes, Denver could upset in this region 100%. But I just, well, like I said, we will get to who we feel is moving on of the 2 teams at the end. But Denver could be a spoiler in this, as they always are. So, but some gymnastics we necessarily haven't seen, especially like Southern Utah. Looking forward to that. And then obviously Stanford, I haven't watched much this year either. So definitely want to check those out and see that region, and hopefully, it's cool to watch and could see some great gymnastics. Really fast, kind of split here. Talk about our podcast socials real quick. Our Region 5 College Salute podcast on Instagram. Go there, subscribe or like the page, follow the page. That's where all of our content is posted. Kim just posted a bunch of pictures from Big Tens. Go check those out. They're awesome. And we have our podcast is up there, videos. You can see some videos from some of our conference champions. And you'll soon see our NCGA National Championship finishers up there too with our Alumni Monday. Go check that out. Region 5 College Salute on YouTube, podcast segments. Our video podcast goes up there as well, also where our Alumni Monday, or not Alumni Monday, our Alumni Conversation videos. You can go watch those from this past year. Some routines, all the content from NCGA that I got are up there in our YouTube channel. And of course, as I mentioned, Alumni Monday, we have our D3 NCGA Championships up on our website. You can find a link on our podcast IG and our Facebook page and check that out. See how our D3 athletes, our alums, did at their national championships. So check out R5 College Salute podcast on Instagram, R5 College Salute on YouTube, and then of course our Alumni Monday with the NCGA Championships this week. So. All right, so regional number 3 in Alabama, play-in beginning on Thursday. The Clemson versus Rutgers regional play-in. Clemson features Tara Walsh. She has been doing awesome this year.
Yes, she has.
She transferred over to Clemson from Michigan State this past year, and 1.5 on vault, awesome. Floors, awesome. Balance beam. She has a cool back handspring aerial. Is it aerial back handspring? I know it's one of those two, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Flight series, but vault, that Yurchenko 1.5 has been awesome all season, and obviously something to watch for in this play-in is for sure. And then Lily Lippett leads off 3 events, bars, beam, and floor for Clemson. We unfortunately didn't get to see her when we watched that meet at George Washington because she was taking the day off. And then obviously, like I said, I have not watched ACC, so I didn't get to see that either yet. But look forward to watching her. I love her floor routine. It's kind of crazy, kind of weird and unusual, and that's just Lily. But everything is cool, and it's just fun to watch. And so we're excited to watch these 2 athletes for Clemson. And then Rutgers, Avi Balzer, on bars. She will compete bars, of course, as a 5th year. And a new routine, as I mentioned, from Big Tens, the Kip Hopjager now. Looking forward to that. So that unfortunately is our only alum. But Rutgers in for the first time since 2014, I think, in the regional championships, even though it's a play-in, first time they've qualified. And it's excited and looking forward to see when you see back-to-back routines, because they will go back and forth. And that's always fun because you see everything, even though the other one, you see everything because they stagger, but it's still 2 routines usually going on at the same time, where this one will be one back and forth. These are back and forth usually. So I have Clemson, and you have?
Clemson.
So we're even in Clemson. Clemson's moving on. Sorry, Avery. Maybe not. All right, regional semifinal 1. We have Alabama, of course, the host of the meet. Shania Adams, uneven bars, balance beam, floor. Always must watch. Her bars is gorgeous. Her tumbling is gorgeous. Her floor routine, beam, her double wolf turn's always awesome. Rachel Rybicki does balance beam and floor. Energy.
Oh my God.
She has
so much.
Yeah, she has flown off the floor, so hopefully she can control her landings. But balance beam has gotten a lot more consistent, a lot better, and she usually sticks that dismount, that punch front full, pretty consistently. So
90% of the time.
90% of the time, as Kim likes to say. But anyway, 2 events there. So those are the 2 alums we'll see. But Alabama, is just awesome to watch, and I love all their gymnastics, and so you can never go wrong watching Alabama. Cal, another great team to watch. Ella Cesario will do all around, will kill it in the all around, bars, huge Jaeger, beautiful double layout, just an awesome full in on floor, so great to watch. And then Abby Scallon, who has entered the lineup mid-season, in her first gymnastics since being a freshman. She hasn't competed much. She did a couple, I think, exhibitions a couple times, but never in the lineup. And, in this year and doing well on beam and putting up 9.8s to a 9.95 like she did in that first, event that she did. But we'll see her on beam. So that'd be great and fun to watch. But Cal, again, another team that's always fun to watch. UNC has the only gymnast on the team. Oh, wait, no, they got more on the team. Jojo Valhovic. We say that if your last podcast is JoJo's always in their social media, It's like JoJo World at UNC. It's just like literally JoJo's World, and we're just like happy to be in it to watch it. She does vault, balance beam, and floor. Another one who has a Yurchenko 1.5, a full in on floor, great solid beam. You can watch her beam routine from I'm not sure what meet it was, but it's up on the our Instagram. But check her out, definitely one to watch. We do have one more alum. She's competed in exhibition once and on floor once, Amy, but she hasn't been in the lineup in a lot this year, so I don't expect to see her. That would be Amy Wozniak, and so she's from Legacy Elite, and her sister actually just finished her last competition of her college career at whatever conference whatever conference William and Mary's in. I can't remember the Eagle, yes. So but yeah, so Amy does compete floor for them, but hasn't competed much this year, so again, one of those we don't expect to see, but who knows, we might. Iowa, Avery Chambers, a beautiful Yurchenko full. She is in kind of in the mid, maybe second or third in the lineup on vault for them. Very nice Yurchenko full, very consistent vaulter. And then Haley Tyson, who has come into the lineup this year. We've talked a lot about her. Balance beam floor, 9.9 on floor at Big Tens, which was awesome. She can go 9.9 on beam too, triple flight, very, very, she sticks her 1.5 on beam pretty regularly.
90% of the time.
90% of the time. That's Kim's favorite percentage, as we have realized.
It is. I really enjoy 90% of the time.
Looking forward to that. Not sure if she's coming back for a 5th year or not. I asked her club coach at State this weekend. She had no idea. So who knows? But looking forward to see her beam and floor another time, because Haley's been awesome this season for Iowa. So that's great. Semifinal 2 here in Alabama, Kim. What's it look like?
Wow. So semifinal 2 here in Alabama looks like Florida. And it looks like Oregon State, and it looks like NC State, and it looks like the winner of Clemson and Rutgers. So that's what it's looking like.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know that's the landscape for the second one. So Florida, we have Ellie Lazari, who is our alum at Florida. However, she's been in and out of the lineup. She didn't compete at SEC, so we're going to see what happens. Normally balance beam, beautiful balance beam. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if she's going to bebop into the lineup, or if she'll just be bebopping herself on the sidelines cheering for the teammates. To be determined.
Yeah, she has competed vault a couple times this year.
Oh yes.
I don't know if maybe she's in the beam lineup once or twice. I know she hasn't done bars this year, so no. I think floor once too, maybe. But vault would be, I think, where we see her, because her Yurchenko 1.5 has been pretty consistent, but we haven't seen
it.
It is. So.
Well, beam, she's beautiful on beam, and I would like to see her on beam personally.
True story.
Oregon State, we have Savannah Miller and Taylor DeFries. DeFries. We have Taylor DeFries. Savannah will compete floor, and Is she still
She hasn't
leading
been.
off?
She, I think, still leads off. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
She usually leads off on floor. Great leadoff athlete for them. You know, we're opening with Savannah. We're probably going to be closing with Jade. It's just a nice little package. They do remind me of each other a little bit. But Savannah, I love Savannah. She's always been one of my favorites. So I'm very excited to see her do well at this meet, and I'm sure she will. She knows how to do floor. Let's just say that. She knows how to perform. She knows how to do floor. Her tumbling's beautiful. She will be one to watch on that event. Taylor on bars. This is probably the event we will see her on. She has competed floor, but bars, she excels on bars.
Her Maloney pack is always gorgeous.
Maloney pack.
And then her double.
I wanted to say Maloney Bale for some reason, but no, Maloney pack.
Yeah, and then her double layout's gorgeous.
Yes, I do remember this.
Yes.
See, now that you're saying it, I'm seeing the routine in my head. It's fine.
There you go.
For a hot second, I was like, "What did she do?" All I could go back to was her doing bars with a tampon in her nose from nationals. I don't know why that comes into my brain, but that is what I think of.
Oh my God, that's she was a junior A, wasn't she? Like
she was
young.
A baby.
She was young. She whacked herself in the nose with her knee. Oh boy.
On bars.
Yeah,
she was a baby, and for some reason, that is like the memory that lives with me.
Yes.
Of her. So
I'm sure she's happy that you remember that memory.
I'm sure she's like, Kim, let it go. We've done 5 years of level 10 since then. Let it go. I'm like,
move on. Yes.
I can't. So anyways, those two we'll see for Oregon State. Then we have NC State, and we do have two alums at NC State, Katie Harper, who bars.
Yes.
9-9
at ACCs.
And it's always bars for me. She does floor, she does beam, but it's bars for me. It always has been bars for me with Katie. She's has unique bar, has always had standout bars. So if you don't do anything, watch her bar routine.
But it's been exciting that she actually has entered the floor lineup this year, because this is the first year she's competed floor. So that's
absolutely. And she's always had nice, fun floor performs well, but it's just always been bars. Like when I think of Katie Harper, I think of bars. And I always will. We also have Lucy Lehman on vault.
Yeah, she has a gorgeous Yurchenko Arabian layout. It's beautiful.
Yes, beautiful vault.
Yeah.
So we'll see her in the vault lineup, and it's gonna be a great session here with these ones. Then Clemson and Rutgers, as we said, whoever wins that will be in this one. But this will be a fun one to watch. Yeah, no, definitely.
Some all around good gymnastics, and obviously some big guns like the Florida. The whole team, Oregon State, Jade Carey, as she's the leader in the all-around. So, we'll see how that works for this meet. Individuals in this competition, we have a slew of Western Michigan athletes.
We have a slew of individuals. Let's just be real. Yes. Like, this is where all of the MAC is.
Pretty much this is the individuals.
Almost.
Haley Faulkner, vault. She was the 2022 MAC champion on this event. Very nice Yurchenko full. Always gorgeous on vault in her vault. NIU's Kiara O'Shea. She was the 2024 MAC champion, a Yurchenko 1.5 that she lands pretty dang consistently. I thought was a little bit underscored at MAC Championships this year. Western Michigan's Reese Samuelson makes bars. You remember last year she had some struggles as a freshman, has come out this year and just nailed bars and beam. It's been awesome to watch.
But as we know from every broadcast and podcast, she can do bars.
Yes.
She's done bars many a time. She's won every bars in club.
Yes.
As I like to say, because her bio is not correct on the Western site. So I'm letting everybody know.
Great on bars and beautiful double layout, beautiful Jaeger. And so excited to see her get to compete and then have a chance individually here at regionals. And then Ball State, Ashley Szymanski, of course, bars, the 2024 and 25 MAC champion. You will expect antics before she goes.
Oh my God! After she goes, while she's going, while other people are going,
she's going to be excited.
I think they just need to put a camera on her just for giggles, like the Ashley cam. Ball State, if you're listening, can you just do an Ashley cam just throughout the whole meet, just so we can just see her dancing?
Yes, but
I'm sure Ashley cam. That's all we need.
Make sure you go to her before bar starts. Don't wait till after she salutes and then head to go before to see her antics.
And when we say go before, we mean when she's chalking up in the bucket.
Right.
Like,
have to
okay,
wait
well,
till the
let's do
routine's over.
a split screen with an Ashley
screen.
inbox.
Yeah, a little screen inbox. But yes, no, you got to catch everything about Ashley when she's in competition. It's fun to watch. And then Western Michigan's Cassie St. Clair will compete in her final competition unless she happens to make it on to nationals. But she's the 2024 MAC champion on floor as well. And so that's where she'll be competing and wrapping up her college career, which is amazing to know that she's a senior as well. So top two here. In the first session, Kim and I are completely on the same page. Cal and Bama. We'll move on. We do differ a little bit in session 2, and I have picked Florida, NC State.
And I have picked Florida and Org State, which is Oregon, but I forgot a letter. But so I picked Florida and Oregon State.
Yeah, Oregon State again is a phenomenal team, and of course you have Jade Carey to anchor on every event. You're going to get big scores, but I've just enjoyed watching NC State, and I think they have something to give. And they were a sleeper the first year this whole format happened. They went from play-in all the way to this regional final, so you never know with NC State, but they're good. They're a good team. So
this is another one that could be one of those upsets.
Correct.
Could possibly be one of those upset regions.
It wouldn't surprise me if NC State was able to move on to the regional final. So, that is our regional breakdown for Alabama. And now we move out to Washington, which will be the final regional, which will end regional weekend as well. And the play-in is Illinois versus UC Davis. And the only athlete we have this year from Illinois competing is Olivia Kapala, but she has added events. So we used to just see her on one event, vault. That was it last year, vault. She vaulted. Now she's doing balance beam and floor exercise. And doing a great job. Floor, she's still getting hopefully next year we'll get to see the 2.5 punch front because it's absolutely gorgeous. She's only doing 2.5 this year, but she's came in the lineup mid-season and it's great to see, but she's done well in vault. She always does great on vault, and she did well on beam at Big Tens as well. So looking forward to watching Olivia compete. And UC Davis, we don't know much about. Another one that we're going to kind of see for the first time. It'll be fun to watch that again because it's the back-to-back. We'll get to see all the routines all the time singly. So that'll be fun and get to see, some athletes we don't get to see, but we have no alums at UC Davis. So our pick for both is Illinois, maybe just because we don't know much about UC Davis, but Illinois is pretty strong. So we feel that they'll move on to the regional semifinal. So, all right, regional semifinal 1 from Washington. Kim, how does that look?
So regional 1 here in Washington, in the great state of Washington, we have Missouri, UGA, Arizona, and ASU. So Missouri,
SEC versus Big 12. That's what this is.
It is. Exactly. So from Missouri, as we know, we have Helen Hugh, the press to perfection greatness of Helen Hugh, the majestic beam routine of Helen Hugh, which will be majestic and great, as we know. She can go 10. She can go 10. She can go 10. It's fine. Just have a 10. We don't want anything less than a 10. And then we have Kennedy Griffin, who will compete vault and floor. And we know she gives Beyonce a run for her money with her Beyonce floor routine. So athletes from Mizzou, this will be a team to watch. This will be one to watch. They've been killing it this season, as a whole. So I'm very excited to see how they are going to do in this regional, because this could be a tough regional also for that, just in general for anybody. But, some 4 great teams here. Georgia, we have Addie Wall. And we have, I still consider her Region 5 because she grew up Region 5, Erin Williams, but she did her final club year in Region 8, I believe. But she's Region 5 for me still. So Erin Williams, we'll see her on floor. She's beautiful on floor, just high energy, great routine, very consistent. So Addie Wall, we'll see her in the all-around. Addie Wall has been killing it. She's just fantastic all over the gym, fantastic. So 2 great athletes to watch from Georgia. And then Arizona, we do have an alum that's there. She won't be competing. She'll be making TikToks because that's what she does every time. I get it. It's a great TikTok. She does that one, which is Ainsley. So no actual competing alums from Arizona. And then ASU, again, no actual competing alums. Well, no alums at all there right now. But they do have beautiful gymnastics, so they will definitely be a team to watch. They have some individuals that are just gorgeous, especially on balance beam. So watch for them. They always have great Leos also. Arizona brings great Leos from both schools. So it'll be a great one.
And then regional semifinal 2, we have OU. Of course, the team that seems like would win, but everyone's talking as if this is not possible or they're underdog or all this, because I just think KJ has a different strategy this year. That's just my feeling. I just think she has the strategy of just stay under the radar and feel like you're not going to do it, and then all of a sudden they get to nationals and boom, 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 they're back to OU status. So Faith Torres all around, we'll see her. She struggled on bars a little bit, overcasted at SECs, but nailed floor, one floor obviously with a 10, and she anchors balance beam and anchors floor, and so you're going to see big scores from Faith, and you're going to see scores from the entire team. Kim's favorite, Jordan Bowers. You'll see her.
Anastasia
Webb, Jordan Bowers. But anyway, Faith Torres all around. Look forward to that. Auburn has no alums, and they do have some great athletes on their team, some elites, former elites, and just great gymnastics. So look forward to that. And then Nebraska, again, no alums. She put in here Emma Spence because, Emma Spence.
Because Emma Spence things, come on.
So, looking forward to seeing some Nebraska. I did watch Nebraska at Big Ten, so I do, I did see theirs because I watched all the sessions at Big Tens. But Nebraska can do some good gymnastics too. And then Illinois or UC Davis will be in this session, and we think Illinois, so that will be another alum to get to watch in that regional semifinal 2. Individuals in this region, ISU, Illinois State's Sarah Wabi, who is the MIC bar champion this year. You can see her bar routine up on our Instagram. She will be competing in this regional. And then if UC Davis were to qualify in semifinal 2, Olivia Kapala would be competing balance beam, which is awesome to see. If Illinois makes it, then of course Olivia will compete all 3 of her events that she does, and someone would slide into Olivia's spot. But if as of right now, Olivia is currently the individual qualifier for balance beam in this semifinal 2 here in Washington. So look forward to that. Just to clarify and understand how individuals make it through, they will compete in whatever semifinal they're put in, based on I don't know exactly how they divide them up. But anyway, they will compete in one of the 2 semifinals. In order for them to make nationals, they have to finish the number 1 spot behind anyone competing on a team that's qualified to nationals. So once they take out all-arounders, because the all-arounders go first, if they take out all-arounders and the team qualifiers that are the 2 teams that move on, that next highest individual on all 4 events also qualifies to nationals. So the individuals have to wait. The individuals compete only in the semis. They do not go to finals. They compete only once. Individuals have a chance. It's hard to make it as an individual because there's also other teams who don't make it to nationals that have individuals that do well as well, and so they make it on. So it's going to be crazy, and but it's fun to watch, and it's good to see some of our alums being out there and representing their schools as individuals, and so hopefully that makes sense. I know it's kind of confusing, just to say that they will compete individually in the semifinals, and then there's a possibility that they could make it on to nationals, but again, it's very difficult to move out as an individual to nationals in these regions. Top 2 moving on to the regional final. For me, I have Mizzou ASU.
And I have Mizzou Georgia.
Yes, so that's going to be a battle there. And then we are both in semifinal 2 on the same page, OU Auburn. We think both of them will make it on. So,
yes.
So that wraps up the actual regionals in terms of semifinals. So now we're going to tell you who we feel, because obviously we know who will make it into the finals, the semi-regional finals. We're not going to go over it all over again. It's the same athletes competing. The lineups don't usually change the next day unless there's an injury. We'll get the 8 headed to nationals in our opinion. And I will go first. And mine is MSU, LSU, UCLA, Utah, Missouri, OU, Bama, and Florida.
And mine is MSU, LSU, UCLA, Utah, Missouri, Oklahoma, and then here's where we differ, Cal, and then Florida.
Yes. All right, so we have those 8 teams headed to nationals, and now we will give you our 4 we feel will make the 4 on the floor, and we differ quite a bit in these. I think LSU, Utah, OU, and Florida are the 4 strongest teams there in terms of just competitive experience and just being there and obviously understanding how it all works. Those 4 will be the 4 on the floor. I am an OU fan to win it all this year because I just think that KJ has a different philosophy this year. I think it's totally different.
So you have OU as winning, but you also had Florida.
I think yes.
You think Florida could win, but you have OU.
Yes, I think OU is going to win, but if I had to pick a second that OU has an issue, I think Florida will win then because Florida has been very consistent, and I think they just have that. I don't know what it is. There's something about them this year that just makes me want to say, that just wants me to say Florida. But again, I think OU. So that's right.
Okay, so here's where we're differing because every year MSU gets one step closer. So I think this year they're going to get one step closer. So I think it's going to be MSU, UCLA, OU, and Cal. That's what I think. That's what I feel. Now, okay, so this is where we differ. Every year MSU gets one step closer. So I think this year they're going to get one step closer. So I have MSU, UCLA, OU, and Cal. Now, in my heart of hearts, the team that I have picked to actually win it all, UCLA. But in parentheses, it's probably going to be OU. Like my mind says OU, but my heart says UCLA. So UCLA.
It would be interesting to see UCLA win. I don't know. It's just, but
I just think this team could do it. Like there's something with them.
I would love. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see MSU in that final. But as Kim had mentioned, it's a new thing. Getting to nationals would be new. Do I feel they're going to get there? Yes. I just feel it's their time. They should get there. But I just don't know if they're going when they get there, if they're going to be ready for what is going to entail to get to finals. So that's why I didn't pick them, and I just feel these 4 teams are. But who knows?
Well, and for me, they have to beat. And for them to go, they have to beat LSU.
Correct. And so that would be very difficult. So, but we'll see. It'll be fun. So we both kind of have OU, but Kim actually has UCLA. So UCLA, OU.
Well, and
I kind of have
you
Florida.
Have Florida. Florida was your parentheses. Your brain is saying Florida, but your heart is saying OU.
Exactly. So it's going to be fun, and we're excited to watch all week, starting tomorrow or Wednesday. For those of you who may be listening today, but it's going to be a nonstop week of gymnastics, and who knows what's going to happen. We'll hopefully have a lot to talk about when we come back, and we are going to be a little bit earlier with our podcast this next week because we have regionals, level 10 regionals. Yay, Region 5 next week. So we're going to have to get the podcast out early. So, but yeah, hopefully everything goes well and we enjoy some great week of gymnastics, and we'll get to see some great performances from all of our alums across the country as they try to compete to make the NCAA Championships.
Absolutely. We know you enjoy our podcast and want more people to find out how awesome it is, because it is. So please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to the Region 5 Insider podcast. Thanks again to Full Out Recruiting for your continued support, as well as all of our listeners. We could not do any of this without you. Follow us on all of our social media accounts for the most up-to-date information on what's going on with our R5 alums all season long.
And thanks again for joining us for our 2025 NCAA Regional Preview. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and start watching and listening to us. And, of course, follow on our IG page to keep up the support for our alums all season long. We'll be back a week from Wednesday for our complete regional recap, and we'll see who will be moving on to Fort Worth and the 2025 NCAA Championships. And, of course, continue our spine-saving coverage of our Region 5 alums. Talk to you next week. Enjoy the gymnastics overload. Follow, like, and subscribe. Peace out, Region 5.
5, 5, 5, 5, 5.